Bloomingdale Lutheran. Happy Father's Day. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good to see you, man. Africa, where are you from? And we have some certificates to pass out. I noticed something that I wasn't receiving, but that's all right. Me?
That's not right now.
That's
not
right.
It's not.
That's
not right now. Right. It's right. It's coming. I can feel it.
Check.
Hey, my good people, y'all all right?
Oh, yeah.
I said, y'all all right? Yeah. Come on, y'all, we outside. We gonna move each other. We're gonna have a good time. Now, we did it again. Y'all all right? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's the energy. We need the room. Good energy. Once again, give it up to Capri and Malik. Again, for that speech. Go brothers, go kings. So without further ado, I'll get the program started a little bit earlier. We've given out the awards because we have some men in here, some kings in here that have other obligations. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up my sister, who needs no introduction, Africa Porter, and my other sister, Serena. Give it up and give it up. Thank you, Commissioner. And thank you, everybody, for taking the time to be out here with us today. Give yourselves a hand. We did this in 8 days. And we did it because of a conversation around how it's Mother's Day is a big deal, when it's Father's Day is so what's happening to us? What you doing for lunch? It's not even a conversation, let alone an event or a thought. So I was given the opportunity to utilize my platform as the Queen of Hyde Park to do events here, because I'm in Hyde Park, I'm from Hyde Park, I'm grateful. And my sister here, we have been talking about doing things like this to celebrate Black men for a long time. So I don't want to talk too much because it's not about me, it's about my brothers today. But I do want to really say something. And we do have a few awards for some brothers that do have to get and do some other things. And we're going to be doing awards throughout the podcast. Thank you.
Good morning. Happy Father's Day to all you beautiful Black kings in this house this evening.
Yeah.
Just wanted to tell you all and thank you very much for being faithful in our community, a good role model for these young men that's coming up. Again, Africa and I spoke about just kind of changing the narrative about how Black men are portrayed. I unfortunately lost my son to gun violence August of 2017. And I also lost my brother 20 years prior to gun violence, both kind of innocent victims. And so just watching my father, my son's father, try and adapt and try and learn how to create a new normal, I realized that as women, we are heavily supported. I can cry at a drop of a dime. And this is what happens. But what I noticed is that our Black men do not get that same attention. And so we want to change that narrative to say that, hey, Black men, strong Black men, they grieve. They need support. They need us to consistently and on a consistent basis love, support them, and let them know that they can shed a tear without feeling weak. Because when I talk to my son's peers, the ones who are really affecting our community right now, they'll tell you, we can't because we're shown as weak, which is why we pick up a gun. And that was the most hardest thing to hear and also most troubling. And they're just like, we don't see Black men cry. We don't see them vulnerable. So it is my purpose and passion, along with my sister here, Africa, to again change that narrative in our communities and doing one event at a time and not just waiting until Father's Day. We're going to do things on a more consistent basis so you all can have a voice to say, hey, I'm not okay, and it's okay to say I'm not okay. So appreciate you for creating this platform to speak and be transparent with you all in your journey. So we're here to support you all.
Okay, so first, we're gonna have a few of the brothers that are here acknowledged. This brother is no stranger to Chicago. I'm gonna say right here. And I remember him years ago. We did a carpool. Our children, he was in the carpool with my son Jaleel, and they were at ETA activities together. And so we had different days we would pick them up. So I just honored that not only is he on the front line and being active in the community in Chicago and abroad, but I'll let him tell you a little bit about what he's doing. But he did run for mayor, the youngest to run in the city of Chicago.
All right.
Absolutely. And he's fierce, you know what I'm saying? He will let you know what it is. He did a big demonstration protest with Chase Bank. Now Chase Bank sponsors him. You can clap for that. He's not taking the event, taking for him. So come on, stay home. You know, we're giving you your flowers now. And this is intergenerational, you know. I don't think J Mom is 25. Yes, I think 25. You know, we just humbled and honored because you can be great at all ages, right now. And I'm just honored. And I remember picking them up, you know what I'm saying, in my hoop.
First of all, thank you so much. I don't think I've ever seen an event honoring the fathers, you know, before that. And let me also say, Chase is sponsoring the community. All right, so we bought Chase and shut down 35 branches, and now they do know what $1 billion back to black communities. I have 3 boys. My father, 3 boys who works my nerves every day. And became a father almost 6 years ago. At 19, 20 years old, 19 going on 20. And it was one of the hardest years of my life. Probably the hardest year of my life. And it really didn't dawn on how important legacy was until I had kids. When I had J-Mal Jr. and he got sick early on, and he went to the hospital. I was in the hospital, crying my eyes out. Like, dang, I didn't know that something can affect me like this. And really understood how important it was for fathers to be active in their kids' life. My kids have never went a week without seeing me. And me being there, whether it's me picking them up from school or being there at key moments, or just having fun, running around the house. And it just was so important. And I had 3 boys, so God, I don't know what he was doing to me. He did it to you too. Oh, man. 3 boys who all got different personalities. Right? All different personalities. But they brag on me everywhere they go. And anybody I talk to, I always say, all they do is talk about how great their dad is. And I could never be so proud to be their father. And so I really thank you for this. This is for J-Mal Jr., Jaden Green. Yeah, they all J.A. apostrophe like me. J-Mal, Jaden, and Jaden. I get a record. You gotta get a nickname. But thank you so much for this. And all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. If y'all meet me back at the bar, I'm glad y'all drink before I leave. All right?
Thank you, J-Mom. This next brother is on the front line as it pertains to our health, which is very important. Him and I, he actually allowed me to be a co-host on a show with him recently. What's in it for the Black People Media. And We talked about how we can really, not just cold turkey stop whatever it is that we're doing too much of, but to learn more about what we're doing so we can be better at it. Brother Sadiq Colquist, I met some years ago, and I think we used to frequent Humanitarian years ago, me and my family, and he would come out the back of the restaurant, and he'd be like, "Oh, this is my family right here. Okay, I'm gonna take care of this family. I got them right here." So I just want to acknowledge you and thank you, everything that you're doing for the community, teaching us about what it is to eat right, to live right, to be right, holistically. We're so thankful. So thankful. We need you. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Hey, just for the record, Malik is older than me. That's it, don't worry about that. Anyway, everybody, it's a pleasure to be here. Not gonna try to speak after J-Ball, that's what he does for a living. I'm Sadiq Colquitt, born and raised in the streets of Chicago. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. But I want to say that the family of Black women that I've been raised around have always made Father's Day special. And the sisters like Sister Afrika, other young lady here, those of you that are out there, Black men, we know that you Black women love us. I want to say that again. We know that Black women love us. We don't want to buy into the narrative that Black fathers don't get celebrated. We get celebrated every year. And if it has not happened, welcome to day one. So now that being said, the plant-based African is not just what I do, it is my purpose. And the purpose is because we have not only been miseducated and misled about politics, economics, our history, where we come from, hegemony, the ideals of Europe versus the ideals of melanated world, not just Africa, the melanated world. But we've also been miseducated about our health. And so what I talk about is not a popular conversation. I'm going to say this. Your health is a choice. And disease is a choice. All of the top 5 killers of Black men and women are 100% preventable. Now I'm going to say that one more time, because there may be 2 people that might hear it. Heart attacks, strokes, kidney disease, diabetes, and high blood pressure, thank you, are all 100% preventable. You do not have to have them. I have personally, talking about me, and I've got some witnesses somewhere in the room, I have personally helped, I can't say the word cure because the United States will be trying to drag me into court, but I have helped arrest and alleviate Alzheimer's disease, cancer, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart disease, diabetes. I've helped people repair hips before hip surgery, after hip surgery, make eyesight better, work with athletes to improve their performance based on the fact that their bodies are ultimate working machines, and depending on what you put into the machine, produces the outcome on the field. So let me say this, everybody in here, you're in the driver's seat. You do not have to, if you have it, you do not have to have it. The food industry and the medical industry conspire to keep you in a loop. We do not have a healthcare industry, we have a disease maintenance industry. There is no healthcare in America, it is disease maintenance. Last story, I got my children are here, so J-Ball, I can't tell any stories, because I'll hear about it on the way back to the house. So I can't tell any embarrassing stories. I got my daughter, Naomi, raise your hand, baby. She's 13. And I have my son, Yaruzi. He is 20, and he's a sophomore at Purdue in computer engineering. I'm so proud of that young man. And my oldest is in Las Vegas right now, so I have 3. But my dad was my oldest and most dear patient, client, or person. He changed his diet at the age of 85. The major artery to his heart was blocked 90%. I was in the appointment with his cardiologist. And he looked at my dad and he said, Mr. Colbert, I'm glad that you and your son decided for you to go plant-based because there was nothing else I could do for you. And he'd been his cardiologist for 20 years, and he watched his heart go from 50% blocked, to 60% blocked, to 70% blocked, to 80% blocked, to 90% blocked, and kept prescribing medication. It is disease maintenance. If you want to heal, think about the power of plants. And let's talk. I'm done. I appreciate you. Much love.
Thank you for the Okay, my sister has to leave. She has something to get to, because that's exactly what she does. But I want to give her her flowers. I know it's about men. Please bear with me. When I got the phone call about Jalen, and a lot of the sisters in here, we all got the call. I just want to acknowledge you. I know it's Father's Day, but we decided to do this together. And you didn't have to. You didn't have to. I just want you all to know that there's some beautiful, beautiful people on this earth. I'm just honored to know all of y'all. And I'm so thankful. Love you, sir. You got it, that's another thing. That's exactly what he does. Okay. The next brother, he has to leave because he's a father and his baby's with him, and he has to get his baby to his son's mom. And so I want to acknowledge him before he leaves. Jamal Montgomery, and I met some years ago doing some work in Inglewood. And as much as people like to think I'm a Queen Hyde Park, I'm from Inglewood. My family is from Inglewood, right, Joe? But when they bought the house in Hyde Park, I was born in 1973. But my roots are in Inglewood. Came from Inglewood. But Jeremiah in Inglewood, and he has developed this Ujama Land Trust, which is so important economically for our sustainability. Jeremiah, he's coming.
Okay, I'm not the best speaker. I'm not going to go after Brother Jamal first. But I'm a recent father. Years ago. And how can I say it? I've done a lot of work in communities, done a lot of only child. That fear and that scary mechanism, just everything scares you, anything harms you. You just think that way. I worked a lot in anti-violence, and I just recently worked with a program where we recruited the most likely to get killed and the most likely killed. And I lost 3 participants in that program. One young man who pushed me to the edge. If you looked at me and him in the mirror, we could have been sitting in each other. We could have been a father and son. And no matter how much I extended my hand to that young man, he pushed it away. He pushed it away, he pushed it away. He recently got killed. I couldn't even enjoy, when I got the news of his death, I was on my way to watch Avengers Endgame, and I teared up throughout the whole movie. He got killed actually just 3 blocks from where my son lives. It just makes me want to be the best father to him. I know why he was pushing me away. He had to, as I said, we look similar, I was probably in the same age range as his father. And I had once, at his age, a deep hatred and a deep anger for my father. Felt abandoned, felt betrayed, the whole nine, those emotions that comes up. One of the reasons why I waited so long to have children is because I wanted to make sure that I didn't become him. Come on, man. The patience, the investment, the love that you want to give to someone, you want to make sure you got the time, the dedication to do so. It is. So I'm gonna leave it on that note. I want to thank Sista Afrika because I really didn't think I was getting anything like a reward or anything like that. I just thought I was gonna get a T-shirt to show up and another T-shirt to my collection. But I really appreciate it. I'd like to say Happy Father's Day to everyone. I agree that we are celebrating. There are a lot of love for us. And we can go on and keep the good work. Thank you.
Thank you too much. Love you, Isaiah. My next brother, he's no stranger to me. He's my brother. We both lost our brother last year this time, and we lost our dad the year before that. He doesn't know somebody today. So I wanted to honor you today. Thank you. Thank you for always being a big brother to me. Took me on my first date to the shark bar, no canal, Saturday. Told me I couldn't have no solid bag, and I wanted to take my phone. He said, "You don't do that on a date, Jerry. I wasn't after yet." I love you so much. Love you so much.
I'm gonna be very brief. First young man that spoke, I had pleasure. Growing up in a dynamic family. My father was a giant. When I say a giant. A lot of people don't know what it is to go to Farrakhan's house. A lot of people don't know what it is to go to Mary Dale's house. A lot of people don't know what it is to go to Obama's house. My father was a giant. But guess what? He was the type of giant you could touch. It was real. The same people you meet in the streets, you're gonna meet anywhere. I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I got invited to play basketball by a white guy named Arnie Johnson. I used to play with in Hyde Park. Arnie called me and said, "What's that, Joe?" I said, "I'm on man's spirit. I'm letting my old man talk to my father." He's like, "Hey, but me and Obama, we come to play basketball. We're going right down here to 50th University, Woodland University." I said, "Okay, well, I'll be up there." He said, "No, we're walking right there to the crib." I thought about the crib, no walking to Obama, Secret Service. And guess what? The neighborhood crackhead walked past us. You know what I did? I ain't gonna be with Obama every day, but I'm gonna stay man every day. You hear me? You hear me? And that's what we gotta remember. We're all connected some kind of way. And I appreciate Afrika for all we done. Let me y'all with this. 2011, I lost my son, one of my sons, Jerome, at Chicago State playing basketball. Did not see it coming. I did not see that coming. My father was the only person in his family who ever got education. I had brother kids still get on the back of the truck. They call it sharecropping. Ain't get no bathrooms now. 2021. That don't make them bad people. My father went all the way to get his PhD and he opened up an avenue for his family. Anybody who wanted a better life could come to Chicago. Some of them came in with that. Some of them came in with the college. But my father and my mother impacted. They taught us servitude. Gratitude and servitude. Them little guys back there, my son, Derek, and all them, I didn't just preach for my family. I had a job working with disabled people. They were all the kids in the project. We gotta connect with these young people. And as I said to my father then, where's the young brother that from the bank from Texas? He's home. J-Mall, no. He came to my father's house. We got him down there. And I'm telling this young brother, you know what? I like what you're doing, but we gotta build on what's already been done. You understand what I'm saying? We don't have to be infected with it. And everybody in here, everybody. We got one man right there. I had no idea that you was my sister. I'm used to beating them up on the tennis court. You know what I'm saying, right? Hey, I'm gonna leave y'all with this. I'm a man of many means. I work for the Chicago Water Department. One of the hardest things that's happening in our city, as my man said earlier, it's a systemic problem. Chicago has a lot of great jobs at the city of Chicago, but they have systematically got this thing set up and we don't get the opportunity to get this job. If you know anybody that wanted a good job, tell them to apply for the city of Chicago. I work for the water department. They have a position called a labor, where they're out there repairing the sewers in the street. The old mayor Deli didn't do anything in infrastructure. His son didn't do anything. Ryan Emanuel started doing stuff. You see what I'm saying? But on the west side, the south side, these black communities been messed up for years. Guess what? When I'm gone, they still gonna be working on it. So if you know anybody that wants a good job, the city is hiring, but the thing that eats me up every day is the majority of people that's coming now are Hispanic. We're being placed as a workforce. Everybody's not gonna go to college. Everybody's not gonna get education. Some people, a plumber makes $50 an hour. An electrician makes $50 an hour. The guy who steals little orange machines and digging around, $50 an hour. But see, right now today, Caucasians have a system planet where you have to go through them. They got the only game in town. We don't have a business incubator develop young people to give them exposure. I'm gonna leave out with this. My whole thing in life is we got 5 fingers on our head. It's the same thing with life. You get experience, exposure, knowledge, wisdom. That other thing you need is a will to live. But if we give some people some opportunities, everybody here does something different. These kids now do not get an opportunity to know what's going on. I argued with my father. He had me read this book called The Jewish Phenomenon. What do I need to read about some Jews? But guess what? They look at the game a different way. They take their kids when they live. Okay, you want to be a doctor, we're going to take you to the doctor's office this summer. You want to be a dentist, we're going to let you go with the dentist this summer. Every summer they get to learn, get to see somebody else doing something different. So when they get up and they get out of high school, guess what? They got an idea of what they want to do. I had 1,000 jobs, right? I got a degree just about done with my master's. Who told me, what are you driving with them CET cars taking this around for? Guess what? I'm in between jobs right now. It's better to have some good ones some money than no money, right? But I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Please, if you know anybody who wants a job, we need African American people to apply for these jobs. And guess what? People say you gotta know somebody who's sick. Okay, now you know me.
You gotta tell me this, right?
Oh yeah, by the way, I worked overtime, double pay last night, 11/7. I'm gonna get that money.
So bad, too. Love each other. No, but I love my family, and I think that innately, our parents taught us servitude, and I always give. So I heard him sounding like my dad. I told him I want to picture the family. But I thank you, Joe. Love you. And thank you, Little Joe, for making sure we come with this.
Joe left us with 5 things. 5 good things.
5 more things. Thank you all for being so attentive and bearing with us today. This next person needs a little intro music.
Intro music.
This brother, all over the country for a few reasons. Wow. I met him through one of my mentors, Bob Tupac, Muhammad, who couldn't be here today. He is one of the honoraries as well. I'm gonna get rid of him and put him in his award. Brother Calvin Jarrett is the #1 stepper in the country. He won a contest right now. He said, "2000, come out with me. Where we going? We all the way in St. Louis." I said, "Hey, you gotta get home. What you doing?" We all the way in St. Louis. But it was a stepping contest for $50. I said, "Man, do I get a percent?" I was in the ride, you know what I'm saying? I roll with you. You know, the brother is so cold, so humble. Not only is he the #1 stepper in the country, let's bust a move, Calvin. Let's do a little something, Calvin. You understand me? You understand me? Calvin Jerry also owns his company. I'm gonna let him tell you, Bead Manufacturing. So for all of our entrepreneurs who make things, like my sister who created this for me, y'all see her like twins. My stylist right here, Love Board. All of us who made things, right? We're so creative and so much creativity in this world. This brother makes the cotton that we wear, right? So the hand said pink cotton. You know, a lot of us go to Gildan for our t-shirts. We don't have to go to Gildan today. He makes the actual t-shirt for you to match with what you want on the shirt. Calvin Jarrett.
I want to thank God for allowing us to be a peaceful place and through His mercy that He gives. Man, you know, when you hang around with the people that I hang around with, the only time I'm recognized is when I'm stepping on. But what people don't understand is that stepping is the biggest dance in America. And what gave me, when I found out, I used to always wonder why I was a great stepper. And when I found out that God gave me another mission, because I also own the only black-owned sports apparel manufacturing company in the world. And so I'm two people, Calvin Jarrett and then I'm Taboo. But if you go on the internet, I'm the only person that ever got 1 million hits on a video in Stephanie. But God gave me a vision. You know, I dressed 35 players in the NBA. Every high school uniform that was wore in the 90s was made by my company. And I left Chicago in 1995 because my baby mother was, she did good, she got caught up in the crack situation. And I had one daughter that was 7 and she was pregnant. So when I found out she was pregnant, she was 6 months pregnant, I knocked up in an apartment, took my 7-year-old away, turned because I figured I said, okay, if I leave her, and I still got to deal with the kids. So I just took the kids. And I raised 2 daughters, one of 30 and the other was 26, 24. And so Africa is part of my MLK mission. God gave me a mission where I do MLK. And it's 900 King Drive in this country. And the first Saturday in April, because Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated April the 4th, and they create holidays for us and don't nobody celebrate his birthday. People just take off work. And that's what I found out when I sent my daughter to college. I sent them there for a reason, because I knew I needed them to work for my company. And so my daughter found out that it was 900 King Drive in this country. So I said, okay, God gave me a mission. And I met with Mr. Faircon, and he said, we never had a product with a movie. So, and I know Martin Luther King was the greatest man that ever lived in my world, other than my father, because when I grew up on 63rd and Kimberwood, the only picture that was on my wall was my grandmother and Martin Luther King. I thought he was part of my family. And he used to watch me all the time. So when God gave me this mission, I created a jacket because I said, if we can wear Nike, if we can wear Reebok, if we can wear everybody's product in this country that don't absolutely benefit us, we can wear a jacket that represents the greatest man that ever lived. And when I created this jacket, and I found this one around great steppers because it gave me access to every King Drive in this country. Steppers are all over the world. So when I did my mission, I went to the steppers. And my goal now is to create and put every black person in America in an MLK jacket. And there's 30 million black people. And at $60, that's $1.8 billion. That will come back to our people. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about whether I'm going to get rich. Don't worry about what night you do. And don't worry about what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about what I don't have a problem. Just understand that in my pocket, I want to get $6. I just got it. And Craig Hodges was my best friend. 35 years. I was with Craig Hodges when he wrote the letter to George Bush. And I asked him, I said, Craig, is that necessary? He said, yes, sir. So I kept on playing ping pong. Because I knew that Phil Jackson was telling me, this is the way, take the cookies off and put the suit on, because the Bulls would have never won a championship without Craig Hodges. And Michael Jordan. But me and Craig, when I started my company, Craig gave me $100,000. He didn't even know me. I met him at the amphitheater, and he gave me $100,000 and fired his agent, because his agent wouldn't give it to me. David said, I'm not giving it nothing. You can get with Flojo, and I will do whatever y'all want to do. And Craig said, no, you're going to give him $100,000, or you're going to get fired. And Craig went to Boston and fired his lawyer, came back and gave me $136,000. And that's how I started my business. And right now, what I go with, and I don't want to talk to but I love Sister Afrika because she is the co-host of my MLK event. And I'm just asking everybody to do a favor. We just got 8,000 square feet on 62nd and LaSalle. We're going to put 100 sewing machines in there. I took Afrika in there late at night one day. Her and her son, West London, in there with her. And I was stuck in the hospital for 12 hours. But 8,000 square feet, we're going to hire 100 people. That's just in Chicago. But we're going to do it in 900 cities. Because every city we go to, we want to create a salesperson. Because I know in this room right now, if everybody in here bought a $60 jacket, that's worth 150, easy. I can hire 5 people today. So I'm trying to make this thing so simple. Because the first person counts the money wins. So if we employ our own people, we got 8,000 square feet. And we want to put 100 people in there on sewing machines every shift. So now that's 300 people. Because we can do that. You know, and I make jackets after this because my house is a factory. And I make jackets every single day because I want young people to understand that the reason why they closed all these country schools because they didn't want a whole lot of people like me running around. Because the one job that they can't replace with a robot is a sewing machine. And when you go to China, you go online right now in China, they got kids 7 years old making these products with a bucket sitting next to them. The mother and father is probably in bondage because these kids got to sew all day long. And then people don't understand that the people that wear my MLK jacket call me and say, man, that thing got spirit. Because whatever spirit we put into the clothes, that's what goes out. So the reason why these people are doing all this killing in our community is because they got clothes that got a bad spirit. Because if you put somebody on the floor and don't let them go to the bathroom, they angry. And that anger is going into the clothes. So we can play games if we want to, but I got testimony from all over the country. Sam Chapman is the #1 DJ in this country when it comes to chefing. Sam called me one day. He said, man, my wife is the most bougie person in the world. But she would not take that MLK jacket off because of the spirit. I wear mine every single day. And I'm just asking y'all, everybody that buys a jacket, we give a kid a free future leader jacket. How many jackets did we give out at the park last year? 50 jackets. This year we're gonna try to give out 500. Because when I look at people, I say, I don't need no money. And I want to move forward. But listen, thank you. And they gonna honor Craig. And Craig was supposed to be here today, but he's in LA shooting a movie. And trust me, it's gonna be the movie of the decade. Because it's the serious business about what happened to Craig in the NBA. Like I told Craig. Yeah, go ahead.
So, for the millennials, right? Before there was a Colin Kaepernick, there was a
Craig Hyde.
You understand me? So he took the knee, right? So that's not new. What are you doing? Y'all know Craig is the guy. He became my guy.
Craig is on the phone. Let me put you on speakerphone.
So you say Happy Father's Day.
Everybody say Happy Father's Day. But I'm gonna put this, I ain't got speakerphone. I'm gonna put it on speakerphone.
Gentlemen, now
go ahead, Hyde, on speakerphone.
Happy Father's Day, big bro.
Thank you, Brother Craig. We hear you in LA.
I'm accepting the award. Okay, get back on stage. Tell my God, turn out right.
So every year we in Washington Park on King Drive. We're gonna be on every King Drive. There's 900 King Drives in the country. It's a King Drive in London, y'all. King Drive in Afrika. We're gonna represent. This next brother needs no introduction. I knew this brother years ago when I was in the nation. And a lot of things that I learned in the nation, I still keep today. That's why you never see me without something on my head. Because that is my contribution to myself, my culture, my identity, and womanhood. This brother you may have seen recently, or you may have heard about, or you may have seen a video there with viral because there was a situation in the nail shop on 83rd off the expressway where an Asian woman put her hands on her sister. Right? Who remembers that? Come on, man. Y'all already know who it is and what it is, right? So my brother had been away for a while. He's only been home about 4 years. But he came home and he's been so fierce. When you talk about a protector, you understand me? I never felt so secure. Anything happens. I got my brother's speak, I got my brother's job, I'm my brother's family. Man, this one here, since I have to hold this camera from what I'm recording, Ty. Man, he threw a straight brick through the window of the nail shop. You hear me? I ain't making it up, you can Google it. And for some sisters, I have to be real clear about it. They were upset with him for doing that with him. Right? So there's a lesson in that. We've gotten to a point where we don't even value ourselves. We don't value ourselves to the point where we don't value our brother who's speaking up for us on our behalf. You understand? He sacrificed a lot now. And he'll tell you, I've been home 4 years, I'm going to be here 20 years. Brother Tyrone, I need you to come on up here. We love you, brother. We salute you, brother. EPPSC, Economic and Social Justice. You see them crowds on the streets about their feet on. They show up and show out. We on the front line, the front line attack. We honor you, brother. We honor you. And when you look, when time you get at, they hang up on you. You understand what I said? He hung up. Hello? Hello? Did you really hang up? Love you, Chad.
Hang up on the mayor. Thank you, thanks to God for the opportunity for us to come together. Thank you, Africa, for honoring us, men. I often talk to women and I hear them say, I can be just as great a father as any man. You know, brothers, if a man say he can be just as great a woman as any woman, you know how women look at him? So why is it okay for women to say that? And absolutely not, because if I'm a single father and I'm a man, and I have a daughter. My job is to find someone that I can give my daughter to and say, sister, can you teach me about what she's going through with the menstrual cycle, what she's going through with something. Women, you can't take your son, and I'm telling you, since I've been home, and I explain that real quick, I've cut over 7 young men hair and took earrings out their ears. They're not even 7 years old yet, sister. You got ponytails in his head and earrings in his head. You feminizing our little brothers. I'm just gonna tell the truth. So they're operating out of a different level of emotion than we were when we was growing up. Getting in the barber chair and going to get our hair cut, man, and talking to the elders while we in the chair was an event for me. And we wonder why young men are the way they are. And someone who has over 200 young soldiers and sons in prison that called me, I'm tired, I need some money for phone calls, I ain't fine. 200 young men called me that I befriended and fathered while doing 21 years in prison. You can't even fathom the depth and the level of doing 21 years in a 9x12 space. And you conscious. That's the worst feeling in the world. And then you watch our sons from ages 18 to 25 coming in prison with 20, 40, 50, 60, 80, 100 years. And now all of a sudden they're conscious. They're, big homie, how do I get out of prison? Some of them I say, you're not getting out. Others I say, hey, get to the law library, figure out that there's always discrepancies in our case. Every case should be re-adjudicated because there's no jury of our peers ever. Ain't no such thing as a jury of our peers. When I went to prison, I had 11 white folks on my jury. From Winnetka, with Met, Glencoe, Highland Park, Gillenworth. Not y'all. See, we sit back and we watch our sons go to prison. And we do nothing to help them get their freedom again. That's slavery, people. I don't want to, ain't no slavery. I can't even imagine even in prison, and I know our ancestors had it worse. I can't even imagine them having to go through more than this. So my stance, coming home, watching the plight of our community, I couldn't believe that our community has been so disinvested, disenfranchised, devalued, demoralized. And I watch black men go to work every day. And I'm like, man, there got to be something different. We got to do something about this blight in our community. We got to stand against this, the economic exploitation in our communities of these foreigners, the disrespect and gentrification. I mean, just our sons, the disrespect of our women, our daughters to their fathers. So ex-cons for community social change is just a way that we decided while we was in prison that since we had a hand, and I don't want to hear about no conspiratorial plots. We know we don't produce weed in our community. We know we don't just produce extended clips and guns and bullets in our community. Heroin, cocaine is not produced in Inglewood where I was born and raised. So since we had a portion and we touched those poisonous things that cause destruction and the terroristic effect to our women and our children, then it's my job as one of the notorious persons we had to call ourselves the boldest boys. I don't think there's no crew that's ever been colder than ours in destroying black people. So when you see me, I got a different type of zeal because we destroyed our community. It's incumbent upon me as someone who destroyed my community to do everything I can to repair the damage that was caused by my ignorance. No, these young brothers, y'all pass judgment on them. But you can't get mad at a pot for being a pot and you You the potter's hand. You that clay was created to be a pot by you and us. So stop passing judgment on these shorties and get in the business of resurrecting the dead, because that's really what it's about. So we stand with this Africa, and I appreciate it. But all in all, man, I don't have any more tears because I'm called in the middle of the night by mothers. When I have to go identify a young man's body for her, his jaw wrapped around his head, 7 bullet holes in his head. These are stuff I sleep with, so I ain't got no time to smile and laugh. I don't got no tears. That's really all. I don't cry for myself. I did all that time in prison. All that time the cop been shot up when I was gang banging. I've been shot twice. But I'm just showing you I didn't ever cry tears, none of that. But when I go see these and hear these mothers crying about their son, like our sister did this thing, man, we are out of our mind as men to allow our women to suffer like that. While young sons and nephews and cousins run around in these streets like little nomads. I tell you what I tell them every day I'm in these streets. You're going to do 3 things. One thing you're probably not going to do immediately. You're going to stop killing and terrorizing our women. The next thing you're going to do, we're going to put you in Lake Michigan. That's an option. And I'm telling y'all, sisters, I'm telling y'all, I got to be truthful, even though they're not here listening. And I hope it's been here as we would like to be. Women, you shelter and shield your sons, your boyfriends, your fathers, your cousins. They live with you. These men don't have Section 8. CH ain't giving us no housing. These young boys hide guns in your house. These are your nephews, these are your sons. Y'all shield evil in your house. These boys kill other men, women, children. These ones we shelter. We know this to be the case, because I've done with it too many times. So we have to take a different stance, because it's going to take us to save us. Ain't no police going to save us. You can't police yourself out of this. So it's just not enough time for us to have a conversation like this. It has to be bigger and broader. So I stand in our community every day really fighting to die. I'm telling you, y'all, I'm not laughing. If you're not willing to die for freedom, to change the conditions of our community, then don't say you want peace. Don't say you want to stop black on black crime. Don't really actually say we mean it until we deal with the little nomads running wild. We got to be mindful and not pride. That's it. Thank
you. Thank you, we're going to bring back up Sister Sherelle. Please don't leave. We do have more of the podcast coming back. It's a very interactive, engaging conversation at the time. And thank you all for being here. Sister Sherelle, Miss Sherelle.
Thank you. Give it up for all the fathers that you sitting up here. Man, those speakers hit hard, right? Come on, you can do better than that. This father's spoken story, your background, history, okay? Shed some tears, got emotion. That's how we support. So give it up for those fathers that you sitting up here that share the life on us. Come on. Wake up. I know what I'm talking about. We in the streets. We are outside. Yes. It's so good to see you guys, like Sister Afrika said. I'm here from LA, okay? I'm from Chicago, but I flew all the way in for LA. I'm also a radio personality from All TV Radio on Power 92. I've been doing Power 92 radio for about over 10 years now, so I always come back to my city and rock out with my people, because this is where my energy is at. all right? And I was thinking about the brother was talking about energy and how he said the young lady was sling off the shirt or whatever because they had bad energy. I've been doing that with my wigs lately, okay? Y'all ready? I know when it's just the pandemic, I know when the wig has bad energy, okay? And the sisters might not talk about it. Do you hear me? Yeah, okay. Do anybody in this business? You wear wigs or not? I mean, get into it. You wear a little, come with bad energy. The little beige knee might come with bad energy, depending on who put it on the knee, okay? No, but seriously, bad energy, go, man. You gotta be mindful of what you put on and who you get it from and who handmade it. All right? Because that some energy you can't see it, you just can feel it. You gotta pay more good attention to the energy that we're around and that the energy that we give each other, like our fathers, all right? Our black men. So give it up for yourselves again, black men. We love you. We love you. And we need you, okay? We don't just need you to help us conceive. It takes two to conceive. It takes two to raise, plus a village, all right? Y'all don't hear me what I'm saying. Okay? Do you hear this thing? Is it on? I said it takes two to conceive. It takes two to raise that child, plus a village. Do you hear me? All right? Because if you get if I know I need my father, I need everybody in there. Everybody in there got wisdom. Gave me wisdom up there, okay? He made me not even want to wear the wigs no more. Like I was thinking that I could probably save the hell out of them. You know, pay Los Santos for wig and put them around and everything. You know, I think like I'm gonna just smoke these wigs out and pay Los Santos to stay. They'll be all right. That's it for me. Put them in the sunlight.
Sound like you.
Take some breaks in the world all over again. You don't know what we go through. We go through a lot, raising our children and trying to figure out what's going on with our energy. I just said, you know what? I took a number 5 guard clippers and just said, I'm taking it all off. I can't do it. I cut my hair off. I said, I can't do it no more. Only thing I want these folks to know is the color that I want to wear. That's it. You hear me? I'm going to do it myself. By the way, Father, I want his happy. I want his happy, y'all. Y'all like the cat? Yeah, a player from the Himalaya, they department, Bobby Johnson, cousin, out west, triple OG, double OG. No, I'm just kidding. No, I feel good. I feel good. It feels good to be up in here. Y'all even smell different. Oh, y'all been taking care of yourselves, baby. Okay, because the pheromones that's keeping up in my knees. Oh, it smells different. It smells so good. It smells so good to be around. You hear me, men and women? I'm telling you, it smells amazing. So I don't know what y'all was doing during the pandemic, what y'all was doing, sea moss or whatever you were doing, juicing, eating your pineapples, baby. Keep doing it. Okay, I didn't smell one musty person up in here. Y'all smell fresh. Y'all smell like y'all get y'all outfit ready to go for this event. So here now, okay? Because I know when my clothes that I'm like, I know what I'm doing, this, and this. All right, I just needed to get outside. You know, it also taught me how to work on myself during the pandemic. All right, I said, you know what, I'm gonna use this time. I'm gonna get this missing tooth put up in there. Because that's sad to give your age away. Okay, put up in there. I'm not gonna let nobody know my age. I'm coming outside. I'm sorry, but that's funny because I was like, how you walking around for years with a missing back? Get your life together. So the parents they have me working on myself. I can just have 2 days so fast. Baby, listen, okay, I'm around here just grinning and grinning, all right? Smiling. These 2 big as hell. I ain't gonna lie. But it's gonna take some time getting used to them. You may have the size in your mouth so long. Can I keep it real with y'all? Is that okay? I'm outside. I got the size too, so it really don't matter what you think. Man, I'm gonna take some time to just work on myself real. I'm gonna keep it 100 up here, all right? Y'all let me keep it 100. I got on my own nerves, and a lot of women won't admit to that. So, if you get on your own nerves, of course you're gonna get on the brother's nerves, okay? I got on my own nerves. I had 3 wins in the middle of the pandemic to come to Chicago just to sit in my daughter's living room. And the luggage was overweight at Southwest. I paid $75. Like you single. I sat on the plane and cursed myself out, and it's a 4-hour ride. 2 of those hours, I was just like, you gotta get it together. What's going on with this? Why would you pay all these weeks? Oh my God! I started really working, focusing on myself, you know. So, and when I'm telling you, I lost 15 pounds now. All right? It was just not about eating good, but it was actually just washing myself up properly. A lot of big girls don't wash themselves up properly. You gotta take care of yourself. Get in the creases. You just can't get the hospital. Okay? And then I'm doing this for you. I'm up here talking stuff. I'm putting there and I'm business for you. Right? But you just can't go home and use this on our sister. Did you hear me? Ladies, you can't just oil up the car that they gonna see. If you really took care of yourself, that's 60 minutes worth of cardio. Do you hear me? I'm here to tell you, I was packed. I'm 20 minutes in the shower, 20 minutes motioning up and crying out. You tired after that? That's cardio. So we just gotta do better, ladies. All right? All right? I check my pills balance out every day. Yes, I did. I ain't gonna really say what I was doing because it's kids up in here. But I check it every day because if I didn't like the bed, I couldn't expect somebody else to like it. Come on, I was working on myself. All right, without further ado, I'm gonna get a mic back to my sister. You know, she said, come up here and introduce yourself. I can let them know about me. She said, be yourself. Let's do it. Right now, without further ado, we're gonna get back into some awards. I'm gonna bring my sister up here. And man, shout out, give my sister a clap. Sister Afrika Porter has been in the community. Her name is ringing all over, not just Chicago, Texas, LA. I'm telling you, she's doing the damn thing. So give it up right now for Sister Afrika. And we're going to tell about the music. Okay, we move right along. Thank you all for sticking around and being here on this Father's Day. You know, Father's Day is every day. Today, this brother that's coming up right now, I've known him for about 30 years. And because it's been that long since I've had locks, I didn't have locks in the neck. The lock measuring test. So I just want to say, Brian Gorman has been on the front line in so many places. Oh my goodness, in college, he owned a periodic magazine, and he hired me to be a writer. That was my first writing position, called Cornerstone. I'm so thankful, and that's been my brother for so long. It was Promontory, yeah. It's an adult, right? I was learning how to be a writer for the publication. We were so hip hop back in the day. So hip hop. The baggy jeans, oh my God. Love you so much, Brian. Brian has Woman Publishing, take more about it. He graced me with the first cover for activism. Love you, thank you.
But I'm gonna keep it brief because I know we all y'all now. So I'm not gonna tell y'all what you should be doing because y'all know what you should be doing. Let's just do it. I'm a man. I'm about action. I ain't gonna talk about what we need to do. Like my man Tyrone. Get out here and do it. Don't just talk about it. I've done, I started a magazine, I started a clothing company, I started doing shoes, I started doing printing, I started doing promotion, I started, like I could go on, and I got long resumes and all that stuff I told you. It's because I don't ask, I just do it. I might not know what the hell I'm doing at the time, but I'm gonna figure it out along the way. And that's what a man does. And that's what a father do, is set an example for the child that we can get out here and do it. no matter what the odds are. Now, we can fall down in the process because that's a lesson too. Falling down and getting back up. Because getting back up is more important than actually succeeding. Because y'all gotta understand, easy stuff comes easy. Hard stuff is the stuff that we have to actually think about and actually put out here for other people to see. Because if we go down these roads, we keep knocking on these hard doors, when we get through it, that's a lot more beneficial to each other. I do all this stuff for that girl over there, that's my daughter, that's a me. I waited until I was 30 because I wasn't ready to have a child, because I needed to have the ability and the wherewithal to get through all the shit we get through. That patience is important, like you said, that patience is important. It's all about growth. One day, you'll be better than the day that you was before, you know, and then that's all we have to do is just keep putting ourselves in front of ourselves and showing these kids a better way. As long as we keep trying, we're going to get there. Especially if we got each other. And all of y'all, I know all of y'all. Some of y'all I don't quite know, but I know y'all through somebody else. So when you feel separation, because I know y'all. So therefore, at the end of the day, let's put our hands together, our arms together, let's lock this shit, and let's go out here and knock these streets down. My man over here, he's gonna come out and I just told him the national black agenda. Because we need some blueprints. You know what I'm saying? My man put the work down. I just came in to assist, right? We have to keep helping each other so that we can get our reach out. My man did the watch guard. He don't come out here, we didn't have a name for the watch guard. We didn't name the name. We made it what it is. But that was because my man was already doing it. I just came in to assist. Yeah. That's all we gotta do. We see somebody working, we're like, man, I got 5 minutes. That's all I got. I'm gonna put it on what you do because that's all I got. All of y'all know that I've been in y'all spot for at least 5 or 10 minutes. Every last one. So I love y'all black people. Chicago is my home. I'm truly the son of the shy. Sure, from south side to the west side to the north side to the east side. I'm welcome everywhere. So that's because I put in the work. I love y'all.
The people united will never be defeated.
Right. Say something or other doesn't make it happen. Or you can This brother is no stranger to us. If you've ever been to the African Fest, clap one. Nobody was listening. But Humanitarian time. Has been my brother for a long time. We worked on so many projects together with the familiar names you all may know. Colin, Kanye West, Ryan Fest, Carlton, so many names we've worked on their album project. Believe yourself. When they were just names, and we started out. I'm so honored and so happy for all of us. We all in a winning season. It's nice to be amongst winners. Illuminate time. Can you come and get some flowers while we're here this Paul Oluwatan is one of the founders of the African Chamber of Commerce. Came here from Nigeria. He founded the African Festival of Art, Labor Day weekend, where we get our culture and our understanding, our performances, our shopping, everything. We worked on so many campaigns together. Right mixtape, drove the source van all around the country. Love you, Lord. Thank you for everything.
Peace, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Olu well, hey, y'all. Happy Father's Day. Happy Sunday. Happy every day. I'm happy. I wake up every day, y'all. This summer in particular, this year in particular, I don't know if y'all seen the change in the air. Smell what's going on, but I'm happy to be here with y'all to see what's happening. we are definitely witnessing life-changing events and things that we're definitely happy that our children are seeing y'all understand how. And they're bearing witness to things that we don't recall about in dreams, or things that we thought that should have been happening already in our lifetime. So we still alive. I'm happy to be here. My story in particular is that I'm definitely a son of Chicago, but I wouldn't even been a son nor a father. My father had to travel a long way. Ibadan, that was close to Lagos, Nigeria. And he decided he wanted to come here in this cold weather, try to figure out what's happening, start a family, get it going. And when he first got here, he landed in this area called the South Loop and ended up going to a school called Columbia College, hanging out with Langston Hughes. You know, people were like, well, I'm trying to teach her the story so she understands what's happening. But that's absolutely correct. You know, my father, when he got here, he had dreams of being a film and television guy. And unfortunately, he was from Africa and had a darker complexion and had an accent, so they wasn't really trying to have him around the newsroom. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Not in the 1960s, but what he did decide to do was he became an industrialist. And when I was young, I watched my father have like a cologne company, and he had a industrial cleaning product that was actually on the shelves at H.O.O.D, you know, and I used to go through his paperwork sometimes, and I come across a college document, and I seen that one of his instructors was Gwendolyn Brooks. And I said, hey, my dad's kind of cool. I heard of this Gwendolyn Brooks. You know, she's a poet. You know, she's from Chicago. But not knowing that my father was part of a very intricate circle of people. And, you know, we all come from a generation of parents that really, they fought for us. They fought for our identity. They wanted us to know that we were from somewhere, not from slavery. All right, and you know, Africa and I, you know, we were destined to be. There's this other dude that's Chance the Daddy rapper. What's his name? Ken Bennett. Chance the Daddy rapper. Yeah, that guy. All right, well, you know, we all came up and they used to call Operation Push, right? Before it was Rainbow Push. I don't know what Rainbow part came in, but look, let me tell you something. All I remember was that little shoe, that afro. I don't know if you remember this, but we used to have the buttons. And every year they had an extra, we had a new button. And having that button, that was like a badge. That was like having a badge of honor. You know what I'm saying? Saying that I was part of that, and that button always had a fist going up. All right, so, you know, that's the era that we came up in. Her era is a little bit more crunk. It's a bit more drill, right? But she still understands the culture of where she comes from, and the greatness that her daddy brings, and the greatness that his dad brought. So all I want to say is to all you fathers out there, you know, I'm happy that we done all made it this far. You have a son, you have a daughter, you have done something. This is the greatest thing that I've ever done in my lifetime right here. And the journey, you know what I'm saying, being a father, it's probably gonna be the greatest thing that I ever do. So, you know, I'm just happy to be here, y'all. One more thing before I get up out of here. You know, we know about this gun violence thing. And ain't no future for none of us if we don't keep this thing out of control. All right, and there will be a lot less fathers making children if they're not here to make the children. All right, and in saying that, you know, it's a lot of people who have been gunned down that we don't know what their greatness would have been but we have to prevent that. We have to do preventative maintenance. You know, some of my personal friends are Nate and Cleo Pendleton, lost idea Pendleton years ago. When they see my daughter, all they think of is what happened in the past and how beautiful she was and what they meant to her, but we also think about her greatness and what her idea could have been. So, in saying this, you know, I'm just happy to be here because last summer I lost my brother to gun violence. All right? And in that happening, that actually tied myself to that brother Tyrone Muhammad right there. I don't know if you all got a chance to check out this article, but your brother Tyrone Muhammad been in the news a lot. You know, he was in an article that was featured in the Sun Times. What was that, January, brother?
Yes, sir.
January 26th or something like that on the Sunday paper. All right, so, you know, unfortunately, I was on the front page of that paper with my dear brother. And nobody wants to be in the paper knowing they're in the paper and going to get the paper knowing they're on the front page and like, wow, but what that represents is the fact that I am still here to help make change. And I'm here to work with brothers like Tyrone and other fathers that care about our future. Right? So, in that sense, you know, I've got no legacy of things that I've done. You know, y'all know I love Chicago. Y'all know anything about hip hop in Chicago? Me and this brother, we first generation on this. All right? And for us to see how things have grown, all I can say is I'm happy to be here, y'all. Thank you so much.
Andy, the barber down, when you start making your way. This next brother is no introduction. If you ask him how he's doing, he's gonna say I'm blacknificent. He's so black, y'all. He's so cultured. He's so on top. He's so there, whatever you need him. You know, I didn't learn until after my father passed that my father was actually on his day. I had always seen him at different meetings all of my life, but I didn't know the relationship. And he said, well, you know, I'm Geraldine's son. Like I knew who Geraldine was. Who's Geraldine? And he was like, that's my mom. You know, Brother Regan Fellows has put in so much work. So much work. So much work. I'm so honored that I have known you all of my life. And that I can call you when you have to come. True story. I love you, Brother Regan. Thank you. I do answer the phone. I do answer the phone. I love you so much, Brother Regan. And I appreciate you. We appreciate you. Thank you for your service.
Wow, that's deep. Over the years, pain about 5 minutes. But it's all about bringing that black man back into that family balance. And we're stopping no killing about the man in that building. So we don't rebuild the family structure, bring the black man into that place. It's over for our race. But thank God, Sister Afrika, we were together yesterday, Friday, but I was just coming to kick it and very deep. But we were solid, sitting down, talking to Sister about some of the work I've been doing. And that's it. I've been around this city for about 4 or 5 hours yesterday. I didn't see one U-Haul truck. I didn't see none rider truck. I didn't see nothing about family there. Right. And on Women's Day, they started a month ahead. U-Haul say people like everybody baby mama something you don't like. That's and she will observe it because you didn't put it together. But my point is, I said, sister, they're not even saying happy Father's Day. That's deep. And she looked at me and said, that's why I'm on the missionary Father Support Group, from 16 to 60, build black men. We had a conversation about women that didn't bash women, we check men and talk about women. So one of the reasons black men
they don't have a model. You have to get different men's view of it to be who you are.
Yes,
So
sir.
it's fearful to be like father.
Yeah.
No matter, it's a dangerous situation. Hold the baby right in the first 9 months. You with the mama, hell, you're jealous.
Yeah.
That's real talk. When I say that, to say that this black man trying to raise these children and father not giving a model, or we're losing men that's in the community to be role models. It's fearful. So black men ain't there beat some, they're
Sure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
my first experience my brother and I 10 years apart. So those of you who don't know, I tell Tyrone all the time, the first crossover basketball drill was regional fellowship. Derrick Rose.
That's right.
And before the brother out there, Carl High School. So I was out sitting out in 78.
Yeah.
From the top point guards of the state.
Yeah.
I was able to put them in the ring and put it down, raise them. My point is basketball saved my life. I got 2 college degrees, no games, no good, from low end, west side, all over.
Yeah.
I've been protected through prayers. But
Yeah.
my brother and I, 10 years apart, so I was at Rural University and ball there. And I'm about to go play pro ball overseas. And then Ben Wilson got killed. My brother was a freshman. I put my brother through baseball, basketball, football, and shorty. I gave up my full career my senior year at Rural University to come get my brother from my mother to bring him to a world to save his life. And now the world officially speaking because we got 06, now he's 62. He got 7. But he has his family, married, has a wife, and my nephew. So that is why I got a father who's early. And I appreciate it, but I have 4 children. And just like Jamal said, he don't understand. Some of us lost 2 families trying to be activists and protesters. But you don't have. When God calls you to do something, it sometimes means you gotta leave some good things. And so I made a commitment to black people to die for this movement. I lost 2 families, my 2 daughters in Aurora and my daughter, the son is in Everson, which I'm going to see now. But one of my daughters, 19, she just went to the military a month ago. She graduated, she's moving. My son is 10 years old, so he's going July 3rd. I had him on purpose. He's going in a revolution stuff.
Come on with it.
You can't be baby, you gotta be can't do nothing else. He's going on purpose. So I just say, my children, mother, was blessed with 2. I'm not with them, but they're blessed with 2 beautiful children. I owe them that, and I just thank God for you recognizing because the black man has to get in his rightful place for the community. Because when men stand up, women stand beside. When men stand up, boys sit down. Thank you, God bless.
You know, I wasn't exaggerating. It really did take 7 days to put it on. And I have to give it up to Jake, the Promontory staff, because I'm here at least, I was here my feet, you know what I'm saying, whoever was coming out was right here, front and center. And they always took care of us. But the Promontory offered this to me, utilize it to use it like this. When they can partner with Brother Caprice, I'm so thankful. And this is one of my sponsors.
I always like to say something like this. I see something in you that you don't see in yourself, which is growth and transformation. Everybody has a right to change. It can just be 30 minutes that can change somebody's life. Sometimes people just need to be spoken to and not spoken at. The reason why millennials and other younger generations don't listen to us is because young fools turn into old fools.
Hey, say that again, girl.
They turn into old fools. All right, and ain't nobody calling them old. And so when I say that, we also use the word love. Love is patient, love is kind. Love is not self-serving. And so when you're doing stuff, you gotta really do it out of love. And when Sister Afrika called me up and told me what she was doing, and I know what she does in the community, I didn't have to think about it. See, when you gotta think about it, that means you're doing it for the wrong reason. And see,
Our children are our future. We could try to play it like they not. We could overlook them, but they see everything we're doing, and especially this little baby, right? We can do twerking, we can do all that. But you ain't reading to them, you ain't talking to them, you ain't hugging them, you ain't cuddling. Because they got all the time in the world to be an adult. They have a small amount of time to be a child. And our children need to be children. We're doing too much in front of them. And so this is what I want to say. I had a father, and it's rough being a man. I am not a man, I'm a single mother, and I've never disrespected my father or my brothers or any man by saying I'm a mama and a daddy. I think that's the most disrespectful thing in the whole damn world. A man is a man, and a woman, and we have our roles to play. I don't judge anybody, people can be people, but when you start stepping into other people's territory, you miss your call. You miss your blessing. And so when I donated from a Black institution. I'm part of Dudley Beauty College. We've been around 54 years. I went and got black. I went and said, you know what? My students, I'm a master educator. And I want them to grow, right? And how they gonna grow if nobody's coming? And so in order to influence them, I say, hey, why not get these people to encourage these people? Why can't we get back to each other? What's wrong with that? See? We can get back to each other. So you can come to the school and let these young people work on you to give them a future, because you don't know what it takes for them to get there. You don't know what nobody's struggling with. You gotta meet people where they at. Meet them where they at. And say, we go after them. I didn't know what they want. We want to be here all the time. What about here? Oh, what about here? There's so many levels to life, right? We're not a success if we all ain't a success. So I like to say, at the end of the day, we are smart enough. We are talented enough. We are strong enough. But we only stronger together. So I ask everybody in this room, can you repeat after me? Black men are powerful. Black men are powerful. Black men are fathers. Black men are fathers. So today, we salute our fathers. God bless you.
She's amazing. Master barber educator at Dudley. I went to Bentley College for Women in Greensboro, North Carolina, where Dudley started that. They used to practice on the women, students at my college at Dudley. So thank you again. Appreciate your connection, Brother Mike. As Brother Douglas makes his way to the stage, I just want to make sure that we're encouraged. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody for taking the time to be here on this day. We know Father's Day every day. Adonis is no stranger to us. He's an amazing man, a father, motivational speaker, activist in his own right. I'll let him tell you more about it. Thank you.
Peace and blessings, everybody. What's good? Listen, I know I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Right? Time is ticking. My timeline is a little different, but I want to make sure I get to you because it's something different, right? Today we need to do something extraordinary, but the only way to do something extraordinary, you have to come from an extraordinary place. So I'm gonna take you to my extraordinary place, and I'll let you understand how this thing unpacks, right? First off, I was a little skeptical about coming to receive anything. Last year, this makes 1 year. Last year, I was called out of the sky blue for a certificate for Father's Day. Never received anything. Matter of fact, I never received a plaque. Let's be clear about that. Always did the work. Always did the work, but I wasn't on the front line. I was the behind the scenes person. I always wanted to be the behind the scenes person. So I honored everybody else, even when it was my event, right? Last year, I got a call for Father's Day Award, Danny Davis, the congressman. And I went and didn't know how to do this thing. Like, wow, you know what? Get this award. First time, I don't even know
what it even means to be a father, really. We didn't have a father figure in the house. I grew up around my brother. I grew up around fathers that had stuff in the road, which is called titles. Titles corrupt people, right? Because it comes with no description, Husband, what are you supposed to do? Wives, what you supposed to do? Uncle, auntie, cousin, brother, sister. Those are titles, but what's the description that goes with the title, right? So this was a program already out into existence, right? I received the award. The week after that, I lost my first son. This is where the story changed. So now I have to take you back into my extraordinary place. Born and raised in Chicago, undeveloped community, undeveloped family, undeveloped everything, right? All I wanted was peace, love, happiness, that's it. Didn't want to be followed behind somebody because there wasn't no role to model, right? So I didn't have a role model, but there wasn't no role either to model either, right? $40 little crime, anybody could have did this little crime. But unfortunately, they told me to plead guilty, right? So I pleaded guilty, $40. They put the little felony on me, didn't know nothing about it, no counsel, okay, cool. Finished school, computer engineering, right? Couldn't even receive a job, let's start there, right? Qualified, but unqualified, right? Not eligible. Citizen, but not eligible as a citizen. I don't really like telling this part of the story because it seems like everybody tells the story, but they don't really tell the story. If you really listen, you will understand that the story is fake or not. It's fabricated. It's a real story coming from a real place. Well, what ended up happening from that point on, I didn't really go sell drugs, I didn't shoot games and things like that. I decided to be an entrepreneur. Didn't know what an entrepreneur was, but I said, you know what? The problem wasn't with me, it was with the system. A lot of times we address the flower and don't address the environment. Yeah. So when we see the flower, we already see what we don't like about her, what we don't like about him, what we don't like the pants sagging, the hat, right? The jewelry. Whatever we can point out, we already using our ability to create, which is our imagination, based on what we think about somebody else. We can do that what we think about a new business or a new opportunity. So we already creating, but it's basically going in the wrong direction. It's not going up and back down. It's going this way. I think this about her. So I'm creating something already, right? Just off an idea. Well, what ended up happening in this little journey, as I begin to talk fast right now, is that I decided to start opening up businesses, different businesses. At this point, I'm at like 17, 18 businesses, LLC, corporations, right? So I'm doing this thing, entrepreneurship on the platform. Where it gets more intense. I think I'm doing life the way it's supposed to be done. I have all these little businesses, got Monterey, got both, got everything. I thought, actually, was I happy? I'll begin to tell you. I had my first house built from the, my second house built from the ground up at 22 years old. I'm choosing what roof color, what door color, what window, right? Always gifted, but guess what? Didn't understand my own self. If back if I was happy, I'll tell you about things, right? Let's fast forward now. Now we're going to move the story. Going to work to open up my business, end up right down Stony Island. Something happened that night inside me, right? It was a call, heard voices. I'm sitting here going, losing my mind, hearing voices, no drugs, no nothing. I'm outside throwing away my jewelry, throwing away my clothes at like 2, 3 in the morning. This is a real life story. At that point, in the morning, I was told to go a certain place, go a certain way, drive down the street, hearing voices, get out of the car, walk the half a block, fall out and go into a coma. Right? 5-day coma. Oh, now listen to this. I was up there. I know I was because I didn't want to come back. There's nothing here on this earth that wanted to bring me back, right? I had to make a choice. Did you want things or did you want the most high? I said, God, you know I want you. Okay, well, you know what's going to happen. I don't want to go back, right? I don't want to go back down there because I felt like I made it to the finish line, like some of you. In life, we think we make it to the finish line, but what is really the finish line? You just getting started. The starting line is the finish line. You gotta get started first. First, you have to get the car started. But then once you get started, you have to not cut the car off. You have to keep going. Because at the end of the day, it's about the results. At the end of the day, it's about the results. I don't care how you get there, how you do it. It's about the results. So I'm gonna press forward real quick. He sent me back. My point in coming back. Now you think you come from heaven, but I really believe I went to hell. Because when I came back, my eyes were open. I wasn't a self-conscious dude. Wasn't nothing conscious about me. I was scared. I was terrified. Grew up around GDs and stones, everything. Knew all the rules, but never followed the rules. But I was planted enough to know the language, the lingo, to know what to look for. Had all this street knowledge, all this
ability to survive. Chicago gives you this, right? Remember, the environment and the flower, the environment teaches you something, right? Well, when I came back, I was scared based off what I see, but my eyes opened up to life. But what I saw scared the hell out of me to the point where at this point, I've been in 5 psych wards, 2 failed suicide attempts. Now, keep in mind, this is a successful man. This is the one that had the Maserati, the pot. Now that's who I'm learning. I'm learning self. There was no self-love. We talking about mental health, right? We talking about how do you stay mentally healthy? Not mental health. How do you stay mentally healthy, right? We should be mental illness, but we don't like the word illness, so we say mental health. And right now we add everything to scoop it in, put one title out there. They dealing with mental health issues, right? But that's really not the case. What are we doing to be mentally healthy, right? And so now I'm going through life. I was shipped off one-way ticket to California because I couldn't figure it out. Businesses went upside down. It seemed like everything went up in smoke, right? Real quick. In order to do something extraordinary, you gotta come from an extraordinary place. Y'all don't care about what nobody says, so you know how much somebody cares about you. So I'm opening up my heart so that you can see me, because that's how I really go connect to you. So now that you see me, you see yourself. So what ended up happening is I was shipped off 2.5 years to California, not to get a record deal or like rap label. It was to learn who I was, still being open up to these voices, hearing things all the time. What do you want to do with knowledge? What do you want to do? And like people start asking me, if I go meet this brother, he'll say, man, bro, what you want to do? It was almost like God was literally all around me to the point I never wanted to look at nobody's eyes because I felt like I'm the demon and y'all the angels and y'all judging me, right? So at this point, I said, well, I was doing what I wanted to do. I was opening up uniform stores. I was opening up real estate. I had tow truck companies, 3 hair salons, 2 barbershops, 3 uniform stores. I was a salesperson, delivery person. Why is these business? Because I like cash carry business. It was about the result. I felt the system did me wrong, so I created my own system. I didn't live on the system, but if you don't have a system, it's only fair that you be a part of the system. That's what the system is. If you don't have one, then you need one. So what ended up happening is I always wanted to leave something special to my children, right? So it wasn't gonna, even though I got a good insurance policy, like they're gonna be rich, right? When I go, you know, they get a lot of money, right? You shouldn't be worth more dead than you buy here. Let's be clear about that part. But I had these notes that I used to keep. You gotta remember this, you gotta do this, you gotta do like this. You gotta remember, females gonna be like this, men gonna be like this. You gotta find this. Now I'm writing all these notes thinking, when I die, I'm gonna get this in my will with the insurance policy, right? It's called the tip. So it sounded like a conversation with bullet points. Well, guess what? I had to end up using the same notes I was gonna leave for them, for myself. So I ended up in California writing one of the like every day. I wrote a book called I Am My Life Coach. Can everybody say I am my life coach? I am my life coach. Notice it's a conversation talking to yourself, right? I am my life coach is what I was given by God. He gave me that person gave me a company called Visible Prime. But I was scared of money. So for the last, this happened in 2012, to be out of time. For 8 years, I didn't even think about opening a new business, didn't care about money at all. Because I spent this time to learn who I was, to understand who I am, to know where I am. Can everybody say who you are, what you are, and where you are? Those 3 questions, I guarantee you will help you with your life. And once you get it, then you can give it to somebody else. Not release that until you get it first. That's the problem, is that we give good stuff to others and we don't eat first. We're supposed to eat it first, taste it. If it's poison, you put it down because it won't hurt you. But we can't just get stuff and just start giving this is good, hopes and everything, right? You gotta eat first and make sure that it resonates with you. If it resonates with you, then it's good for somebody else, right? So let's just move on with the story. I wrote this book, I Am My Life Coach. Still didn't know what to do because my life was totally, didn't have anything. Family member told me to go get SSI. Let's be clear about this. Play mental health, go get SSI, get you support. No job, no money, left by myself. My friends sending me money in California, eat a donut and a coffee a day. Please understand what I'm saying, because I was terrified about life. Once I built myself up, and if I just read the scripture, I love Jesus, the greatest public speaker I've been walking the earth, because it's real. It's real if you can get it, right? I love that. So anyway, I put myself back together, came back to Chicago, the place I did not want to come to. Let's be clear about this. This is not the place I wanted to come back to. They wrecked my name, they laughed at me, they put me all over the internet. The churches did me wrong, religions did me wrong, they gave me membership, didn't give me ownership. Let's be clear about that. Membership, fellowship, no ownership. Let's be clear about that. So you didn't know who you are to represent who you are, to even understand where you are. But I'm bending on me and right trying to figure it out. Pretending I'm the biggest pretender in the room until my pretending day was up. So now that as I get back here, I started building myself up. I created this book, but it wasn't time to be released. I go and speak out in Spanish interpreter. Give me my book interpreted in Spanish, proper Spanish, sought me out the best person to call, did that, put it in American Sign Language, put it in Stupid Edition, put it in American. If I did it in English, I had to do it in Spanish as well. Put it in audio, I put it on CDs, I put it in everywhere. Still wasn't released yet. What am I telling you guys? I was in the kitchen cooking, but was waiting because I still did not get released. Didn't know anybody. When I came back to Chicago, I never went to the same place. I did everything different, which landed me in Hyde Park. That's how I came to Hyde Park and sit at a cigar lounge when I didn't even smoke, just to be around older people, right? I didn't have friends. I believe this environment is so effective because we don't understand relationships. In order to have a relationship, let's go with the last word. It's called ship, right? Noah built a ship. A lot of us, a vessel is a ship that takes you somewhere, right? You have to build it up. That way you will understand friendship. You have friends, but you don't have friendship. You have relationships, but you don't have a relationship. You see me, I spent my time with God as God spent his time with me. And I understood that's the one who rescued me. So I know my word, right? That's how I learned worship. You get it? Like, look, worship, because you know your word. So now I know where I'm going. And that's why I am my life coach is very important, because it wasn't made for anybody else but me. But I recognize in order to help somebody, I had to first learn who I was. Then once I learned who I was, I had to get up and get over who I was, get over myself and make it bigger than me. But first I had to become me. So understanding when you ground it, once you ground yourself with self-awareness, then you have to have that self-realization moment where you have to realize nobody don't owe you anything, but you have to give back everything. Life is about emptying yourself out. The things that you have to release. I've been in Chicago public schools. I've been teaching. They asked me that I wanted to teach to the students. The students don't love you. They love the way that you dress. I'm not here for the students. I'll take the teacher. What? How can you teach others and don't teach yourself? Y'all got 30-some children in here. Y'all not refreshing each other. I want to see what the teachers do so they can't teach. So now I got them all in the room. We're doing exercises and we're doing things, and then that's when it all starts clicking together. Did I ask for this? No, I did not. Did I know it was going to be built to this? I did not want the children. But guess what? When I walked in the room, I didn't choose these kids. These kids chose me. That was the difference. All I had to do was be me. Then somebody else will want to watch me and find out how did I do it, right? Remember, no roles to model. There was no role model. You're a police officer. You complain about money. You're a nurse. You complain about you don't make enough. You this, you don't make enough. Everything we complain about is because you chose. Right? Okay, y'all. As I bring it to a close. Let me just close on this 36 seconds. 60 seconds in, 60 seconds out. That was the story about this man. He was about to die, grandfather. And he told his son, boy, this little case, it's time. He went and got the watch, to take it to the pawn shop, see how much they give you. He took the old watch to the pawn shop, came back, said, Dad, they only give you $50 for this. He said, okay, take the watch and go down to the flea market and see what they give you. Took the watch down to the flea market, came back, said, Dad, they only give you $20. He said, okay, this is what I want you to do. My time is up, I'm about to die, I'm about to leave here. Take it to the museum when I leave. The father passed away. He took the watch to the museum. The museum said $15 million, right? It was an antique. What am I saying to you? You are undervalued. You are undervalued because you don't know your value, and we have the wrong people trying to appraise us. You have to know your worth. Know what it's going to do. That's what makes a big step. Peace and blessings, everybody. Thank you.
I want to take my
right? You have time to check it out. Again, thank you all for being here. I know this is about our men, but I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge this point. We have been on the phone every night for the last 10 minutes. I have known her a long time, but we have never talked this much. Miss Toy, I just want to say thank you for putting up with this Virgo energy. You have been dedicated, committed, and I mean, let me just say, she is Malik Yousef, executive assistant. Okay? She is the mom.com. Not only did she stay up with me before this morning working on today, but she went down to the airport. Okay? I'm hoping she has it now, but I know she did. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I believe we gotta acknowledge each other and show love when we're doing this work.
Thank you so much, everybody. Wow, this is the first time I've ever been acknowledged for anything, so thank you so much.
Aww.
Man, I'm here in the humblest capacity because, man, God is powerful, you know what I mean? And I would not be here if it wasn't for exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, so thank you. Thank you, Sister Africa, thank you, DJ Teddy, thank you, Capri, thank you, AJ, thank you, Christelle and Charles. Thank you for everybody who had the opportunity to come out. We know it was last minute, but we wanted to do this in honor of the fathers in the community and just to show you that we do care. So thank you guys so much for coming out and participating. And just know that this is not going to be the last event. Thank you, Fireman. You know what I mean? Thank you to my team. And, you know, just thank you. I really appreciate it. And just whatever I can do to help, as always. Thank you.
Thank you. We have two more brothers that are gonna come up before the priest and police close us out. And thank you again for everybody being here. This brother, when Brian Gorman was speaking about him, he was not lying. I met this brother about 20 years ago, again, on the front line. I want to say we were doing something in Woodlawn. And every day, at least 5 days a week, he's still outside. We had an uprising, an increase in carjacking during the pandemic. So we had the pandemic, right now the pandemic. And it was about, it was right to my attention. And I said, what you gonna do? What am I gonna do? What's really happening? I don't even drive a car. No. And I was just saying, wait a minute. And it just got too deep. One day we had about 15 carjackings in one day. I said, well, hold on now. So we got together and we started organizing and mobilizing. Brother Marquette McDonald has been on the front line. He's going to no, I'm talking about, I asked him questions, I was like, is he ever at home? We got to honor you one day, Queen. Because Joanna's gonna be on the front line. I'm so thankful to know him. Marquette, would you please come up and get this honorary gift to acknowledge everything that you do. You are amazing, brother. We called the attention on me and my mom. Y'all need some clothes. I know the price. What you need? You on the bus? You on the truck? I'm like, no, thank you. I'm just so honored, honestly. He's just a really, really good brother. He's become my brother, and I'm so thankful. Sometimes I'm like, where you at? I'm out here watching the shoot. It's 2 in the morning. Go bed.
Thank you. I don't have a lot to say. I'm honored. I appreciate this. Listening to all the brothers, it's interesting to have a connection. It seems like all of them. Because of my culture and how I was raised, I just want to shout out my father, my grandfather. My father, his name was Bob McDonald. He was a comedian and unfortunately he passed away some years ago. And my grandfather was a gentleman by the name of George Kirby, which I'm sure some elders here know. And so I want to shout them out because George Kirby wasn't my biological grandfather, he was my adopted grandfather. And I want to shout out my father because he didn't spend a lot of time, but he spent most of his time in prison while he was trying to find ways to connect and raise me. But in that time, my mother put me around other men. It was through martial arts school, military school, the Nation of Islam, been around them since I was 9. They pretty much raised me. And even the brothers in the hood, it's real interesting, man. I was sharing a story that the brothers in the hood, like, I grew up around some of the GDs, my family GDs, but I grew up around the Moles. Yo, my family didn't like go around the phone, but what was funny about the phone was they wouldn't let me get back. It was like they saw something in me and was like, nah, not you. And they would literally, I remember the day that one of the guys named Hyde came to the front door on a Saturday morning about that football. And my mother opened the door and was like, what are you doing here? Like, this dude, get Kevin. And he was like, I came to take your son out to the field to teach you football. She was like, what? You know, and from there, he literally was teaching me how to play ball. Like, you ain't going this route. Even though I did veer off the time, it was a level of accountability. Going back to something that Tyrone said, is the name. My wife and I had a conversation with one, prison is slavery. And two, this is going to sound real strong, there's no threat. And what I mean by that is because of the threat of what would happen to me if I did something out of what those elders saw for me, that path. Those brothers on the block was like, go ahead and act the fool knocked out if you want to. My father, when he got home, was like, oh, you want to talk to your mother and your grandmother a certain way, huh? Let's talk to me that way. It was a threat. I hate to say it, your children right now, they cannot raise their voice to you. There's a level of accountability that is missing inside the community. This, what we have right here, is actual violence prevention. It is not the organization. It is not the organization. I'm gonna tell you why. We out here. Tyrone, myself, some of you other brothers that I've heard of, we're out here. When Brian mentioned I created an organization called Watchguard, I'm actually co-founder. I want to shout out those men. When we created Watchguard, we didn't have a name at first. We literally, about several years ago, we've been out working for a while, but what caused us to go out every single night is black women was getting snatched on the west side and the south side of Chicago. I think y'all remember that. They found them in the alleys and the buildings. So what happened was, because we live in Bronzeville, we went out on the weekends to go to Bronzeville and patrol the neighborhood at night. Unfortunately, our schedules was a little shaky. So what we ended up doing is, trying to get it together. For some reason we couldn't. Last year, May 31st, 2020, the George Floyd uprisings. I don't call them riots. I call them uprisings because sometimes you need equipment behind it to understand it. So, there was an uprising that happened in our community. And I got a call because it was like, yo, man, it's up 47th Street. And my thing is, and it's gonna sound bad, but the main business is. And who's contributing to the hood? Oh, they don't contribute to the hood? Well, they didn't go to school, all of us. But these black businesses right here that don't contribute, we're gonna make sure they straight, and our elders we're gonna protect. So that's what we did. And then that was the day that we decided every night from 8:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. every night we go out and patrol. And then later, Sista Afrika, we had that conversation, like she said, and yesterday made it 23, that every Saturday at the gas stations, we had 31st in Michigan, 35th in King Drive, 29th in Persian, and 42nd in State Street, we stand guard at those gas stations to help prevent the carjackings. Now, I saw a news thing recently, so I'm gonna take it. So I'm gonna say this. I'm generally, I'm real humble with things, not speaking. My wife did. So I'm gonna take mine. There was a news thing on CBS. They interviewed us. They called you, and they said you told them talk to Q. They gave me, you was like, you need to talk to that man out there. So what ended up happening was they gave me on the news the credit, the organization and the community. It wasn't just me. They gave those that was working in the hood to and they said the police, and I gave the credit, it's been a collaborative amongst all. Now the police will say, we did this, that, the third. No, sir, that's the wrong attitude. It's the community. We are not going to solve our issues with them. There is no police. So you can take every officer in the department and the National Guard and put them in the hood and won't stop the violence. I'm sorry, it's not. The fact that you can go outside your front door and not know the name of your neighbor across the street when next door to you, that is the cure. That's going to be a part of the cure, as well as the resources, and whether it's education, economics, secure. You gotta know your neighbor. You gotta know your neighbor, because guess what? Let me explain something to you. If you had no village, them shorties that you call and we like to look down on out here because they do X, Y, and Z, they got a village. They got an identity, ideology, philosophy, they have an idea, they have a system. And they set up on your block and they go exercise that system anywhere they go to and use it there and look for the police to do it, and they're not gonna do nothing. You wanna know why? Because you ain't got no system yourself. But I know this to be true, because my mother, she moved to Chicago, she moved to a certain suburb I didn't want to move to. And she said, no, go check out the house. Let me check out the house, check out the block. I used to do executive protection and security for those who don't. And I'm real, my wife was saying, you know, how to get on her. I literally, and I have no problem saying this, I said, she didn't know this the other day. Since we've been together for 8 years. For 8 years, we had 4 children, 8 years. For every time she's going to her car, or come home from her car, I've been in the window with a gun. And she did not know. She was like, I'm sorry. And I said it, now that makes me a bit rough. But I'd be damned if I was there and I could not protect my wife. And if I'm going to something happen, it's going to be that way. And I stand right there, and she was screaming out to the day and saying, oh, I was like, watching me to the car. She's like, she's like, oh, you been doing this? Like, you know, she's like, I have no clue. But my point is, going back, and I'm sorry, I don't want to be involved, I'm sorry. I just want to say, the community is it. My mother's block, they had 2 houses that they knew everybody from corner to corner, across the street. East side and west side of the street. 2 houses ended up selling. It became 2 dope houses. Both were gone within 6 months. It's a different feeling, true story. When 30 people now come to your door and be like, hi, we your neighbors. And then you like, ooh, I don't care who you are. When that unity comes, it's like, oh, okay, I need to, something's wrong. And then they left because they was, and then not only did they understand that, the connection between themselves, they have a political understanding too. So that one block holds their alderman and their mayor accountable like I ain't never seen before. Like it's serious. We get taken advantage of for a lack of education. Period. And let me say this. It's gonna sound once again strong, but we are at war as a people. We are at war as a people. Listen, violence is among us. The lack of education that we have is a form of violence. The economics of the lack of it in our community is a form of violence on us. The fact that we have food deserts in most of our communities is a part of violence on us. We have to be secure. We can no longer rely on them. Let me say someone who does, I don't like using the word activism, because most activists are activists. I'm not saying that, I'm just saying a lot of activists I've seen are activists. I like to organize and work. Let me say this. Yes, sir. I'm gonna say this right here. We're the cure. And if we don't come together, somewhere that started with self. I told my wife this in the form of email. I told her I no longer make mistakes. And she was like, what do you mean? And we had a debate on this. I said, I no longer make mistakes. I'm holding myself. We had this conversation about 2 weeks ago. I'm holding myself to a higher standard. I make choices. Mistakes for me is a word that I use as an excuse for the choice that I make. I make choices. I'm either going to, what did Sadiq say earlier? Disease is a choice. Well, so is getting involved or not. So let's make some good choices for ourselves individually and for ourselves collectively as family and community. And I guarantee we're going to get out of this muck and mire that we've been put in that was systematically designed to put us in. I guarantee you. Thank you so much.
As our brother Michael comes, I said it, as he makes his way up here.
Go right ahead before the last question. I just very grateful and thankful to be here. And hear these brothers speak. I knew it was gonna be powerful. I didn't know how powerful it would be. And I realized something inside. I'm just like overjoyed and I'm scared because it took me all this time to realize. These brothers are not just talking about accountability and responsibility. They're talking about a thing that we never talk about in our community called selfhood. Everyone has said, who are you? What are you going to do? His brother said, he'll make his choices. When I was young, I was in the street. Like y'all know, I was 10 up Chicago. I'm in the hundreds, 12A. We was really the only stone set out there. I think in 1993, I shot a person every day. Honestly. I think in 1993, I shot a person every single night of that summer. From May to September. I kept expanding out all the way to the west side. Everybody saw us coming, they would go in the house, and it really was crazy. Mr. Farrakhan, I never told this story before. Mr. Farrakhan got in touch with me through his son Abner, who was my brother. They said that Elijah, Joshua, Lil Farad, Lil Lewis, they had a problem down in Arizona. And I'm just now realizing what this was right now today. So I went down to Arizona. They had some problems with some Japanese mafia guys. So I had a faction of guys come from Texas, from LA, and from Las Vegas. We went and handled it. And brought the brothers back to Chicago. Elijah has a fitness company now. Joshua has he's a construction worker, and the brothers are doing well. They were young, they were in high school, and Farad and Lewis were not even in high school yet. And that, for the first time, put me in front of Mr. Farrakhan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, you understand, everybody knew my reputation, stealing cars. We'd rather talk about carjacking. I jacked a car one time. It wasn't like from an old lady or nothing, it was from a rival, but shootouts at the mall, everything. I didn't care. I'm shooting in broad daylight, it didn't matter to me. I didn't care, no. I didn't even know it was wrong. And Mr. Farrakhan said, okay, brother, I'm so glad, and the science behind this, I'm so glad that you used your power to help. Now, of course, I'm thinking to help him, and this is Mr. Farrakhan. Now I understand he didn't need me at all. You know, he got Mustafa. He got the whole, the FOI and NOI is in Arizona thick. But he knew if he reached out to me any other kind of way than the way, who said the sister said we gotta meet people where they are. I wouldn't have came to talk to Mr. Farrakhan. You would have to shoot me and drag me in there. But because he know what I like to do, I like to perform violent acts on people. I like to bring my mob and show them how to generalize and be a general, a street general. We don't go here, we don't go here. He used that to make contact with me, and that was the day my life changed. I would have been dead, of course. Because it wasn't any mob in the city, including my own mob, that didn't want to see me dead. I was too much trouble. I had no consistency to my movement. There was no idea behind it. It was just pure, unadulterated, everyday violence. And I said this before on the podcast, that if you had met me at 17, 18, 19 years old, you'd say, throw the whole person away. Throw them away. There's no way Malik's ever going to be different. There was no possible way. Because I would never come to anything like this. There's nothing you could tell. I don't want to come out. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to repent. I don't want to atone. I don't want to do none of that. I want to be Black Peace Stone every single day. I want to wear red and black every day. Everybody good. Everybody on people's house. And when Mr. Farrakhan brought me to his house and said, you used your power for good. I felt like, yeah, I helped a person more powerful than me. But it was the opening up of the dialogue. And every time we tell these little shooters, don't be shooting. Hey, don't steal cars. Every time we say, don't do it, and they got the rebellious spirit like I had, there was nothing nobody could tell me. It was nothing. I snatched people out of churches, took them out of family reunions, put them in trunks, put them in their family, after family reunion. And I welcomed anything people wanted to do. Come with it, please. When we tell these rebellious kids that's in pain, they on fire on the inside. I was on fire on the inside. I was in so much pain. I was on fire every single day. Wasn't enough alcohol that could quench it, wasn't enough sex that could quench it, nothing could quench it. So I couldn't get in a room like this. This room convicted me. This room made me have to look at myself, which is the last thing I wanted to do because of how ugly I was. It's just so easy to just keep being the same way. So convenient. And Mr. Farrakhan was peeping the whole time. So same week down there. Of course I'm gonna do the job, but then the dialogue opened up. And I never went backwards a day after that. I kept moving forward to becoming the person that I am now, which sometimes is already easier. These brothers, but it took a minute to click. I kept hearing the same thing. It took a minute to click. Oh, that's what happened. People say, when did you turn around? I'm like, I don't know. That was it. Somebody connected to me where I was, and where I was in a dirty, grimy, muddy, greasy, terrible, infected place. It was an infected place. It wasn't nothing pretty, it wasn't nothing healthy there. And that's how we gotta meet these brothers. We gotta meet them now. We can't say, stop doing this. We gotta get down there with them, and it ain't gonna be pretty. And I'm committed. And I want to make sure everybody knows that I'm committed and I'm accessible. And I'm ready to get down. And you ain't willing to die for it, you can't have it. Thank you. I'm sorry about
Awesome. Love it. And let me just say my personal testimony. A lot of y'all know I have an older son. And although, sometimes I did go to different prisons with my cousin, who has the largest prison outpost in the country, Helen Sinclair. But sometimes I would go to see my own son, and nobody would believe it. They're like, what you doing here? Are you doing a news story? No, I'm here to see Jalil. You understand? So, there's no shame in my game. We all have challenges, we all have struggles, and a lot of you in this room have been there for me. Let me say thank you. Thank you. I'm going to pray Brother Micah. And again, we've been doing this the last 7 days, day and night, not sleeping. And I will be remiss if I did not acknowledge my business partner, Melanie Brown. Thank you so much. Melanie, the hardest working partner, but she's my business partner and my sister. She's on the front line. This is for Brother Mike. Mike owns the management company, Isaidit. He recently honored me on Mother's Day. He's been in the business over 20 years in entertainment. He's put a lot of people on the mic and in the studios, so a lot of work behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. I want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I just want to start this, and I'm just going to do what I do every single day. You know what I mean? The number 111, 1111, the number is 11, representing new beginning. It's something I embraced the last 3-4 years. And every time I see this number, I pray and I say, and I open my fingers, because that's what I do. I say, I am grateful. I am thankful. I expect a miracle. Thank you for the miracle. And when I say this, I'm speaking to the Most High, I'm speaking to myself, I'm speaking to the universe, and it responds. So now with that being said, you know what I mean, I'm sorry as a poet, 20-year poet, I swear I hate when I see, I'm totally against anybody reading off their phone, but because of what I represent when it comes to business, I can't miss a step in this moment because I've never had an opportunity to be honored for my 20 years in this industry. You know what I mean? So I want to miss a step. All right, I appreciate you. Peace, Queen. Sister Love Born.
I'm gonna read something off his phone.
Yeah, so
Even though he had this, I love it.
yeah. So it's gonna just go just like this. So first I'm gonna start off, I want to thank all my sponsors. So I want to thank first UrbanGrindTV.com. I want to thank LifeAndEntertainment.com. I want to thank JustMeMagazine.com. I want to thank HairBossBiz.com. And that's Biz with a Z. I want to thank AndyTheBarberDog.com. I want to thank StreetScienceRadio.com. I want to thank Lenise Alex. I'm just going to spell out LYNESIALEX5.com. I want to thank LilyB.com. I want to shout out We the Guys Entertainment, Greasy Gang. I want to shout out my beautiful friend I came with, my media partner, She Bananas. She has her own afternoon kickback show called The Afternoon Kickback. I want to thank all the gentlemen and fathers in here today. Salute to you. I'm not a father myself, but I've helped, many young men lecture, with men I've come across in these streets, to young men I've had the pleasure of working with on these jobs and things of that nature, and past ex-females, girlfriends I've had, they've had children, and I've been a father to them, with all love. All right, you know what I'm saying? I've also had the pleasure, man, I'm shaking, man. Hey, I've had the pleasure of actually honoring many extraordinary people. Right here on this stage, November the 19th, 2019, I honored the legendary iconic Warriors. I've honored Melissa Morton, Mickey Howard, Jazz Order originator. And I did all of this alongside the famous Chicago Bridge magazine where I spent 17 loyal years. You know what I'm saying? I designed and I published a magazine called I Said the Poet Top 20 Poets, where I featured Grammy Emmy Award winning. This is 2015. 2016. You know what I mean? Then through my company, I Said Management, I created something called Tribute to Women event tour, where I decided one day I woke up and I want to get back to the Black queens and I want to honor them. You know what I mean? Because I was raised by women. I have a huge influence by women in my life, so I wanted to get back. And through that company, in the past 4 years, I've been able to independently honor 9 extraordinary Black women. Yes, sir. I want to also say much love to 2 of my brothers that I lost who drowned last year in the Kankakee River. You know what I mean?
We appreciate you, Mike. I said it!
I want to shout out my brother. I want to shout out my brother, Chris Beasley, aka Black Lord. I want to shout out Nick Williams. They was on a boat and they drowned, man. I also want to shout out my dad, who is here. He's alive. You know what I'm saying? Thank God. You can clap for that. I'm going to shout out my dad. You know what I'm saying? He showed me how to be a man. He showed me how to respect women. He showed me, you know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you. He told me not to be fearless. Don't fear any man out here. You know what I mean? And that's what I did. That's how I walked. And I've been like solo dolo, but it's for the time that I jumped off the porch
You know what I'm saying? I've always been cool without the game. That's what I say. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never gang banged, none of that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm cool with some of the biggest, you know what I'm saying? People that, you know, they put in their work in the streets, you know, they have a lot of respect and they respect the youth, you know what I mean? And they disrespect me because I never wanted to try to perpetrate. I never tried to be like anyone else. I was me. You know what I mean? I started off being kind of dirty. You know what I'm saying? I found my way. You know what I mean? I was just yeah, in that order. You know what I mean? And you know, when I started this poetry thing 20 years ago, when I decided I wanted to be a poet, there was two names that was out there that I learned of first, and that's the late great Maya Angelou and this gentleman right here, Malik Hussein. And this will lead me to say I want to represent poetry, and now 20 years in, and I'm very grateful. And the great, you know what I'm saying, Black Ice, King of Poetry, you know what I'm saying, he took me under 20 years ago and helped me, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, he just helped me open up his shows, close his shows, give me a big opportunity, and I'm grateful, you know what I'm saying. I just want to end this, and I just want to say thank you again to everyone's part of this process together. Thank you, Sister Afrika. I love you, Queen. Thank you.
Thank you again, everybody. I'm sorry that you're close. I don't see them now. We do have to close now. Thank you all for staying the course on this day. I'm gonna bring up our gracious host, Ms. Sherelle. And Xavier is still here. This is our final. Xavier Poe, one of my yoga instructors, an attorney, sports entertainment attorney. Amongst other things, it's my amazing brother too.
I don't want to cut you off. But I also do want to say one more thing to everybody who came up here and spoke today on this panel and gave their testimony. Me being a 28-year-old man and listening to everybody and their stories from, I can't even tell you the ages and now I want to get a guess, you know, but I just know through my journey and through my walk, I've been able to really take in everything that everybody's been talking about today and really be able to embody it and really being able to communicate myself and let these things flow, because you know, as you grow up in a world like this, you know, we got social media, you got everything right now telling you, you know, that what's the right thing to be and what's the wrong thing to be. You know what I mean? And that can be a little bit cloudy, like a lot of the things that we read in this world, you know, and that we don't have true answers for. And I'm letting y'all know, you know, my guy right here in the back, my guy right here in the back too, powerful, everything was powerful today. And it gives people like me hope, 28-year-old man, you know what I mean? I'm being so serious. Because I got my family right here, my little brother, I got my mom, I got my daughter, I got my little nieces and nephews in here now, you know. And one thing that I learned playing 6 years in the NFL, you know what I'm saying, being born in a 3-bedroom house, 23 kids in it, you know what I mean, foster care, shelters, you know, growing up in that type of life and trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong. You know what I mean? And seeing everything down from gangbanging. Like, I'm so honest with this, man. I started gangbanging in the 5th grade, just not even not even ignorant, just trying to do the right thing again. You know what I mean? And even growing up later on, like down the road, I look back at the things that I did, and I still thank God to this day that I can still clap about some of the things and the decisions that I was able to make back then that didn't find me in the dirt. You know what I mean? Or, you know, anything that would stop me from getting exactly where I am right now, being able to take care of my family, being able to be an entrepreneur, being able to be somebody that, you know, that can continue to motivate, you know what I mean? Even if it's just one person, you know what I mean? Because there's not too many people out here in this world right now that's going through these times and continue to communicate these feelings and be transparent on how to be and who to be. And y'all keep being that because y'all give it hope. Y'all give it hope every time you open up your mouth, every time you say something. You touching people that you don't even know that you're touching. You know what I mean? And I feel an incredible, just an incredible feeling right now, just even flowing through my body by just hearing y'all testimonies, because a lot of this stuff I personally, as a 28-year-old man, have tried to subside, you know what I mean, and try to keep within myself and try to project that out into the world and it be accepted. You know what I mean? I hear Malik right here, he's super transparent. You know, he can tell you how in a second. You know, and this is like what it's like you said earlier about being around things and making choices. So even when you make your choices almost unapologetic, you know, because this is what it needs to be now. This is what it needs to be. We need to be transparent. We need to be able to express ourselves. We need to be able to come in, not only speak in front of here, in front of these people. We need to take this out to everybody. Everybody needs to hear this. Everybody needs it. Everybody needs it. Because I mean, this is about an hour. This is about 2 hours of this. You know what I'm saying? And I can only imagine what 4 hours of this. You know what I mean? With 6 hours of this. You know what I mean? We just, you know, I don't want to let any of that go for granted. I don't want any of y'all time to go think that it was taken for granted, because I'm telling you right now, from somebody I feel like that may not have seen a lot of things that I may have seen, and I didn't see a lot of things that y'all probably ain't seen, you know. So I want y'all to keep being transparent. Don't feel like your words are falling on deaf ears. They're not, and they're waking people up from slumbers. You know, and they're waking certain feelings and certain ancestors up from slumbers, you know, that need to be awakened, that need to be transparent and projected out into this world. So keep being great, and I appreciate y'all. Right.
Love you, Committee. Thank you for being here. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Thank you, Mario, Promontory staff, my people assistants, Chrissy and Sinead, help me all day in and day night. Xavier, please receive your gift. And please continue to network. We do have to shut it down. I'm gonna let my sister close, Mr. Rick.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yo, I just wanted to say to y'all, just thank y'all for showing up for one another. Black men, let me look at y'all real quick. Look, can I just stop real quick and look at all the black men in this room? And yeah, that too. We want to. Hey, black men, can you acknowledge yourself real quick? This black man clapping yourself. That's right. You know what's really been great to hear you in this room? Y'all a bunch of leaders. You're leaders of yourselves, leaders of your families, communities, and y'all got all different talents. We got artistic talents. We got political talents. We got educational exploits and networkers and people that make things go around. Yo, we got all these different kings that do different things. And I just am grateful that you all are who y'all are. And so, where's Africa at? Hey, give it up to everybody who puts this in together too. That's divine femininity. That's what I like to call it. When you look at men and say, I'm gonna lift you up, that's like a battery pack in our back is needed. It is. When you have women that lift you up, you will run through a wall for them. Several walls. So props to the women, the divine queens in this room that got together that men can be lifted. I just want to get this gift and just acknowledge all the kings and queens in this room. I ain't here to talk about myself. I'm Xavier Cole. Y'all can learn a little bit more about what I do, but I prefer to just show y'all what I do. God bless each and every one of y'all. Thank you.
Roll call has been asked for at the Chicago, Collins. Also, I want to bring up the artist of this beautiful creation here, Chantanay. Please give it up for Chantanay.
Hello, everyone. So I just wanted to start off and say how I feel very in this space in this moment. I just so happened to be at the Hyde Park Festival, and I've actually been, after I graduated college in December, I've been out here in Chicago on my entrepreneurship journey alone. So the fact that I found myself in this space is just absolutely amazing, and it aligns exactly with everything that I want to do with my art, healing, and everything like that. So yeah, this is a piece, and also to say how myself, I'm gonna cry, but you know, there's a lot of trauma stuff with myself, just being able to see this much like positive masculine energy and like being able to have that around me, it's just amazing. So this is my creation.
Thank you so much.
Give it up for Chantanay, guys. Beautiful, very creative, right here, just in case. Before I get out of here, I want to acknowledge, I said it, this brother is dope. I want to say thank you because when I moved to LA about a year and a half ago, he contacted me to get me on the cover of the Bridge magazine, the front cover of the Bridge magazine, Black-owned company. And he said, Sherelle, you're not being acknowledged enough. And to let you guys know, I am on BET. It's a TV show called All the Way Black. And it's hosted by Chris Spencer. And I talk about me growing up in Chicago, south side of Chicago, and around this work park. I guess so. I didn't want to put it out there. It also, my bio talks about the interviewing the minister, Louis Farrakhan, for about an hour. That's also on YouTube. I had the privilege of doing that. I also had the privilege of opening up for the late Dick Gregory 3 times here at the Promontory. And the list goes on and on. Or you can check it out. I'll be on a TV show called Stash that will air in August on MTV as well. So, Stash, I'll post it. So here's the thing, you gotta follow me on Instagram, on social media. I'm at Instagram, MZ_Sherelle1, and all social media platforms, Miss Sherelle Pierce. Okay, that's my government. And before we get out of here, we're gonna see if the panel wants to say any last remarks and words. And I do want to say thank you again for Sister Afrika Porter for having us all here, putting us together for us all. It means the world, this staff, the Promontory, the brothers that came up, the students that came up. We love you, we need you, and thank you again. You want to say something?
So also, if you would like to follow me as well on Instagram, it is 2_ NAAYYY. Follow my art as well, Art by Name.
Thank you.
And if you guys are looking for any advertisement, if you have small businesses, man, give it up to you. Small business entrepreneurs, serial entrepreneurs, you rock. Do you hear me? You rock. You set the example and you set the tone for our babies that see it. You rock out like this. So just know you rock. So if you ever want to promote anything or you want me to just do a shout out or a decent advertisement or anything you got going on, I am still connected with Raw Radio on Power 92 each and every Sunday night, 7 to 10 p.m. So just get at me. Like I said, I'm on Instagram, MZ_Sherelle1. You want to say something? Okay, all right, and thank you guys for coming out so much, all right? You guys are beautiful, beautiful energy, and we appreciate you. Be blessed, be safe, much success, love, happiness, eternity to you guys. It's good, powerful energy.
Humanitarian on all social media platforms. Humanitarian.